Hi, I am Desiree Gonzalez Costello and I am here to present to you a chess notation. So chess notations are various systems that have developed to record either the moves made in a game chess or the position of pieces on a chessboard. The earliest systems of notation used lengthy narratives to describe each move. These gradually evolved into tensor notation systems. So here's how to do a chess notations. So in chess notation, we will use the initials of the pieces for the notation. So K for king, Q for queen, B for bishop, N for knight, R for rook, and pawn has no notation. We also use symbols on notating. So we have X for capture, plus for check, hashtag for checkmate, O-O for king side castling, O-O for queen side castling, 1-O for white wins, 0-1 for black wins, 1.5 minus 1.5 or 0.5-0.5, which means draw. Next, we have 1 exclamation point for good move, 2 exclamation points for brilliant move, 1 question mark for bad move, 2 question marks for blunder, 1 exclamation point and 1 question mark for interesting move, 1 question mark and 1 exclamation point for weak move, and so on. So here we have a chess setup. We also have ball pen and a piece of paper where we are going to write the moves of each pieces, the white player and the black player moves. So first we have E to the E4. So we are going to write E4. Small e and 4 because the pawn has no notation, so E4. Next we have E5. Again, we are going to write E, small e and 5. So next we have the knight goes to F3. So we are going to write initials N, F3. Next, knight goes to here. So it's CG, C6. So we were going to write N, C6. Next, bishop goes to C4. Bishop goes to C4. So the initial of bishop is B, B, C4. So next, bishop goes to C5. So we are going to write on the black player big B, C5. Next is B4. The pawn move in B4. Again, the pawn has no notation, so B4 for the white player. Then, B, bishop captures B4. We're going to write big letter B, X for capture, then B4, the pawn on B4. So next we have C3. The pawn on the C3, so we are going to write C3. Next, bishop goes to A5. So we are going to write big letter B, A5. Next is pawn on the D goes to D4. So it is D4. The pawn captures the D4. So we are going to write small e x d4. On the king side, the rook and the king go or do a castling. So we are going to write O-O for the castling. Next, the pawn move on D3. So we are going to write D3. Next move, the queen moves on B3. So we're going to write letter Q, big letter Q, B3. Next we have queen goes to F6. So we are going to write big letter Q, F6. Next, the pawn goes to the E5. We are going to write E5. Next, the queen goes to G6. So we're going to write queen G6. The rook goes to E1. So we are going to write RE1. Next is the knight goes on E7. So we are going to write letter N, big letter N, GE7. Next, bishop goes to A3. So we are going to write big letter B to big letter B, A3. So next is B5. The pawn goes to B5, so we're going to write B5. Next is queen captures B5. So we are going to write queen X B5. So next we have the rook goes to B8. The dark player, black player. We are going to write R B8. Next, white queen goes to A4. So we are going to write Q A4. Letter Q A4. Black bishop goes to B6. So we are going to write B, big B, B6, BB6. The white knight goes to D2. So we are going to write D NBD2. Knight from B goes to D2, so NBD2. Next, bishop goes to B7. The black bishop goes to B7. So we will write B, B7. Next, we have the knight goes to E4. White knight goes to E4. So we are going to write N, E4. Next, we have the dark queen or the black queen goes to F5. So we are going to write Q, F5. Next, we have the bishop capture D3. So we are going to write B capture D3. Next, we have the dark queen goes to H5. So we are going to write queen or QH5. Next, we had knight moves to f6, then check. We are going to write n f6 plus sign, check sign. Next, we have the g capture f6. The pawn on dark side capture d f6. So we're going to write g, small g, x, f6. The pawn capture the f6. White pawn capture f6. So e, x, f6. Next, the rook on the black side goes to g8. It's a good move. So we are going to put an exclamation point. So R, G, 8, exclamation point. Next, we have the rook goes to d1. Rook on d8 goes to d1. It's a good move. So we're going to write R, A, D, 1, exclamation point for good move. Next, we have the queen capture the f3. So it's a bad move. So we are going to write queen qx f3 question mark for the bad move. Next, we have the rook capture e7 or the knight, the dark knight. Then check the king. It's a good move. So we are going to write R for the rook, X capture, E7, plus sign for check, and exclamation point for good move. So we have the knight capture E7, good move, then bad move. So we are going to write N for the knight capture, E7, exclamation point for the good move, and question mark for the bad move. Next, queen capture 7, check, then good move 2 times because it is check the king. So we are going to write queen qx capture d7, check the king, then it is a good move. Next, we have the king capture d7. The king capture the white queen. So we are going to write K stands for king capture x d7. Next, we have the bishop goes to f5, then check the king. So we are going to write B stands for bishop, f5, plus sign, check. Next, we have the king goes to e8. The black king goes to e8. So we're going to write K e8. Next, we have the bishop goes to d7, check, and check the black king. So we are going to write B for bishop, d7, plus sign or check sign. Next, we have the king goes to f8. The black king goes to f8. Write K f8. Then we have the bishop capture e7, then do the checkmate. So we are going to write B stands for bishop, capture x, e7, then hashtag for checkmate. So this game is a checkmate for the bishop. Check the king. And this is our notation. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.